What up, everybody? I'm going to initiate a call to action for everyone to donate $1.99 so that you can access the back catalog of the podcast as well as to help your podcast grow. I'm trying to grow the podcast and I want to do that with you guys and make it better and brighter and bring you more information. So if you want to access the back catalog and help support me as an artist, I appreciate you. And please donate at anchor.fm underneath Lockdown Universe. Thanks so much and enjoy the show. What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to Lockdown Universe, home of the bizarre, peculiar, and unheard of stories of UFO legend and paranormal lore. Welcome back, welcome back. Happy to be back. Hopefully you guys are doing well and taking care of yourselves. I hope you're doing excellent, actually. And I wanted to do a podcast a little bit different tonight because I like mixing it up a little bit. And I came across an interesting article, and I wanted to do a podcast about angel encounters. Notice how quickly I go to alien. And so I wanted to do oh my gosh, angel encounters and some guardian angel encounters, if you will. And one of these really stuck out to me, so I wanted to share with you. And it has to do with sledding, surprisingly enough. Anybody ever gone out sledding and thought you might have a near-death experience? I'll tell you, I have. I remember going sledding when I was like maybe 7, and like this girl in this first story, I had my own experience. I'll tell you about it right after. So, in our first story, An Angel's Guiding Hand, Jackie B believes her guardian angel came to her on 2 occasions to help her avoid serious injury. And this comes to us from liveabout.com. And according to her testimony, she actually felt a physical presence and a protective force. Both of these encounters happened when she was a child. Her first experience took place at a popular sledding hill where Jackie was enjoying the day with her family, and the young girl decided to try sledding down the steepest part of the hill. Sounds exactly like my experience. She closes her eyes, she starts down the hill, and she states, I apparently hit someone going down, and I was spinning out of control, and I was heading for a metal guardrail. I didn't know what to do. You know, if you're on one of those like circular discs, man, them things fly at like 50 miles an hour, and you can't control what you're doing, where you're going. Suddenly, I felt something push my chest down, and I came within less than half an inch of the rail, but I didn't hit it. That's similar to what I had, although I didn't have a guardian angel during my experience, my friends. I had gone down the hill at Mach 5, missing, you know, a few people as well, them having to jump out of the way. And then I got to the stop, and my friend was going to come right behind me, which he did. And so I slip off of my sled, I turn around, I go to pick up my sled, but I can't pick it up fast enough, and he's barreling down at Mach 6, 7, and there was like a little ramp. So he ramped up into my gut, okay? I'm pretty sure he lacerated my liver and other organs because I'd never felt such pain before in my life. Nonetheless, I did survive. My mom just said shrug it off and brought me home. Meanwhile, I'm pretty sure there was some internal damage. But nonetheless, I did not have a guardian angel that day. Jackie's second experience occurred at a birthday celebration at school. She had run across the playground while she had placed a crown on a bench. While running back to her friends, 3 boys tripped her. 3 boys tripped her? They all 3 of them put their feet out at the same time, huh? The playground was filled with metal objects and wood chips. Boy, that sounds safe. Jackie went flying, and something hit her just below her eye. But I felt something pull me back when I fell. The teachers said that they saw me sort of fly forward and then fly back at the same time. As they hurried me to the nurse's office, I heard an unfamiliar voice. keep telling me, don't worry, I'm here. God doesn't want anything to happen to his baby. That's pretty comforting, I must say. I wish that would have happened during all the times when I was getting beat up by bullies at school. Now, I have worked in a hospital. I've worked with and sat with several patients who were, um, dealing with, severe dizziness and needed someone, what we call a sitter. Somebody had to sit with someone, sometimes on a one-to-one, to make sure that they don't get up and fall when going to the bathroom, or get up just confused or whatever the case is. So, in this next experience, we find that this woman had an angelic sitter. It's called the Reading Angel. And she states it's remarkable how many stories of angels come out of hospital experiences. I have my own that I can bring up as well. It may not be so hard to understand why, when we remind ourselves that these are places of sharply focused emotions, prayers, and hope. So, one reader entered the hospital in 1994 with acute pain from a fibroid tumor the size of a grapefruit in her body. The surgery was a success, but more complications than expected, and her troubles weren't over yet. The reader recalls that she was in horrible pain and then had an allergic reaction to morphine, which the doctors tried to counteract with other medications, and it made a bad experience even worse. She just had major surgery, and now she's dealing with the pain of an acute drug reaction. After receiving more pain medication, she was able to sleep for at least a few hours. She states, I awoke in the middle of the night. According to the wall clock, it was 2:45. I heard someone speaking and realized someone was at my bedside. It was a young woman with short brown hair wearing a white hospital staff uniform. She was sitting and reading aloud from the Bible. I said to her, Am I all right? Why are you here with me? The woman stated uh, that I was sent here to make sure you are all right. You're going to be fine. Now you should get some rest and go back to sleep. She was reading a book, apparently the Bible. Um, the next morning, she explained the experience to her doctor, who checked and said there was no staff that had visited her overnight. There was no need for a sitter. She asked all the nurses, and no one knew of this visitor. To this day, she stated, I believe that I was visited by my guardian angel that night. She was sent to comfort me and assure me that I would be okay. Coincidentally, the time on the clock that night was 2:45 a.m. and is the exact time recorded on my birth certificate as the time I was born. Now, I'll tell you a couple stories, personal stories, um, that can accompany some hospital stories. One will be my own, and then the second would be my partner's. So, um, the first one was a story from a coworker, um, and we worked in a hospital that obviously had a morgue, and our exit door was actually directly next to the morgue. So as we were exiting, there's this big window. Well, if you work second shift, you leave at about midnight, and it's pitch black outside, so you can see your reflection in this window. My coworker and I were going down the stairs, and she states that she saw a tall man in a red hoodie. And so, we turn back around. She doesn't see anything behind us. And she kind of shrugs it off and, kind of like a little freaked out, but whatever. And the next night while she was working, I wasn't there, but she states she talked to one of the team members on the staff, one of the medical staff down from the morgue. And she was like, she was curious because she was into ghosts and things like that. And she was like, last night I was walking out and I saw some man behind me and he had a red hoodie on, but then I turned around and he wasn't there. And the guy just kind of turns pale white like a ghost. And he's like, yeah, I worked on that guy last night. That guy's down in the morgue right now. And they all kind of like, got goosebumps and the shivers, and and that was the story. That's the story. That's and there's many others, right? I worked at another hospital where um, we actually saw on camera in a locked room a person sitting there, and there was nobody in that room, but the camera showed a person sitting in the chair. We go down there, go to unlock the door, nobody's there. It was a legit ghost. Couldn't figure it out. I worked on a couple other floors. I heard footsteps, but nobody there. And I worked overnight sometimes too. It was pretty creepy. But another kind of guardian angel story that happened um, to my wife was that she had brain surgery, and she was in the hospital for many, many weeks. And while she was in there, she stated that she was visited by one of our daughters. But our daughter are very young. Our daughters are very young. And while she was in there, she stated that she was visited by her in the future, by about a 20-year-old version of her. And she comforted her. She told her everything's going to be okay. But my wife knew immediately that it was indeed our daughter. But she was 20 years old. And comforting her and telling her everything's going to be all right. And interestingly enough, this happened while she was in an MRI machine at like 3 a.m. You know, and you could blame it on brain surgery, you could blame it on this and that, but her entire time she was in there, she had different experiences, but that was one of the most remarkable ones. So pretty fascinating stuff. Um, you know, it makes you wonder: is it time travel? Is it her extra spirit of what they say is, and this is one of the interesting things I came across while watching an episode on Gaia about the afterlife, is that they say that we have about 1/3 of our spirit here on Earth, and about 2/3 of our spirit back on our other home in the other spiritual realm. Could it have been the other 2/3 of our daughter's spirit visiting her, representing herself as an older age? Given that we are eternal and we don't really have ages, we just can present ourselves as any age. It's pretty fascinating. Pretty fascinating stuff. Um, so let's go to this next story and see what they have here. So some people, the title of this one is Life Information from an Angel. Some people believe that before we're born, when our consciousness or spirit resides in an unknown place, we are given information about the life we are about to be born into. Some say we even choose our life. Not many people can claim that they remember this pre-birth existence, but Gary says he does. In fact, even in his middle-aged years, Gary says he can recall some of the details of a conversation that he had with an angel before he was born. He states, and quote, "I was bodiless, but I was aware. I was in an area that was darkened, and I was alone except for the entity that was speaking to me. I was at the bottom of a stairway type structure, and was looking up the stairs, but not seeing the one speaking to me. I was very warm and comfortable, but I was aware, and the feeling of trepidation of what I was about to embark on was there. This entity was speaking to me and giving me a brief description of how my life would be. I asked for more information, but it was refused, and I was basically told that my life would not be a hard life, but would lack any luxuries, and that I would experience great difficulties at a relatively early age. It seems that there are a few small other details, but I can no longer remember as clearly as I could when I was younger. It appears the information was correct, as I'm now disabled and in poor health." Interesting, right? Interesting that he could recall at middle age that kind of information. I mean, that blows my mind. You know, a lot of times kids can remember things, but not adults. You know, not typically, not from your previous life. So that's truly fascinating to me. So let's check out one more story here. So we've got the angel nurse. In 1998, Luke was diagnosed with bone cancer at the tender age of 8. That'd be rough. As sometimes happens, he came down with an infection which meant he had to go into the hospital, and he was there for about 2 weeks. That's when something remarkable happened. One evening, Luke's mother was sitting at the bedside quietly, praying as he slept. A nurse came into the room to check Luke's body temperature, but his mother noted something rather peculiar about her. The nurse was wearing an old-fashioned uniform from the type that would have been common 30 years earlier in the 1960s. The nurse noticed Luke's mother had a Bible by the side of the bed. She said that she was a Christian too, and said she would pray for Luke's healing. Luke's family had never seen this odd nurse before, and they never saw her again during Luke's remaining time in the hospital. I came out of the hospital fully healed from my infection, who was 19 when he told the story. Remarkably, he is now completely free of cancer. My mom believes this nurse could have been a guardian angel coming down to give my mom some kind of hope. If she wasn't an angel, why would she have been wearing 1960s old-fashioned nurse clothing? That's pretty fascinating. So, there is another one, but I think I will hold on to it because it's about UFOs and aliens and an angel. So I'm gonna hold on to that one. So stay tuned. I'll bring it to you back to back here, and I hope you guys are taking good care of yourselves, staying healthy, staying strong, staying positive, continuing to follow through on your hobbies and your goals and your dreams. Um, what did you think about this? What do you think about angels? Do you think they're real? Do you think they're part of our existence? Are they? Do we have guardian angels? Do we have uh, other spirit guides that are always around us, trying to help us? Even though we might have to go through something difficult, are they always there? What do you think? Leave your comment in the comments section. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Come visit me on TikTok, and I hope you guys are enjoying the podcast. So I'll bring another one back to back. And as always, continue to question the universe out there. It's a large universe, and we've got lots of questions. Until next time, guys, take care. Lockdown Universe out.